and everybody knows that Tom Landry was the genius behind them. Well, that's partly true, but much of the vision behind the Doomsday defense has come from Cowboys Defensive Coordinator Ernie Stautner. His system has brought Dallas postseason playoff berths and Super Bowl rings. It's ironic that Stautner has enjoyed so much success as a coach because as a player with the Steelers, he rarely won. In spite of that, Stautner ended his playing career as one of the great warriors in NFL history.
For the last 2 decades, the Dallas Cowboys' Doomsday defense has earned a reputation for toughness and savvy, characteristics that could also aptly describe team defensive coordinator Ernie Stautner.
He won't let him go. He won't let him go now. He rushes inside, he's going to go right after him.
Under Stautner, the Dallas defense has helped the Cowboys to 13 division titles and 5 Super Bowl appearances. And yet, as an athlete, Ernie Stautner never played for a championship team. He was born in Bavaria and raised in upstate New York. He fought with the Marines in World War II. And during summer breaks from Boston College, he helped his brother-in-law build drive-in theaters. When Stautner finished school, he'd look to a career in pro football. Only Art Rooney's woeful Pittsburgh Steelers seemed interested in the skinny Stautner. Ernie hoped instead for a shot with Steve Owens' New York Giants.
Steve Owens said, look, you're too small to play with us. And of course, that immediately got my dander up pretty strong. And I says, okay. I said, I'll tell you something. You're going to be sorry you said that. So the only place I could go back to was the Steelers. And I was mad enough now that when somebody told me I couldn't make their team, I was going to do something about it. And from that time on, every time I played the Giants, I had a personal vendetta to show them that I could make their team or make any team around, and I think they remembered me.
For the next 15 years, Stautner, number 70, was one of football's most unforgettable figures. The Giants and everyone else paid for Steve Owens' mistake as Ernie Stautner became the NFL's angry young man.
He was so maniacal. He just didn't make sense to me. I played the game for fun and for laughs and seriously, but Ernie Stautner was a little frightening just when he walked on the football field, even to his own teammates.
Very tough, mean player. You didn't mess with him, on or off the field. Nobody did.
Ernie Stautner is a type of guy that was intense in practice. That was just his makeup. You just look at him, you'd see, well, this guy's a tough guy. You don't mess with him, because he was that way. He was intense all of the time. You know, he's one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. But you put him in a uniform, put him out on the field, whether it's practice or a game, he is totally intense and concentrating on what he was supposed to be doing.
Anybody that played in my era would say that Ernie Stautner was probably the toughest tackle that ever played. And to me, Ernie Stautner was really a symbol of a defensive tackle.
Stautner terrorized offensive linemen with his most lethal trademark, a resounding blow to the helmet that left blockers dazed and confused.
The part of the game that I take particular pride in is probably the part that kept me playing as long as it was, and it was the use of my hands and forearms hitting the other guy's head, which is illegal now.
He was the only man I've ever seen play with an arm cast for 15 years. He put it on Sunday morning and took it off Sunday night, but we watched him. Ernie was a good ball player.
Stautner was one of the few good ball players on many bad Pittsburgh teams. He was football's ultimate warrior, a rugged athlete who excelled even when his Steelers had no hope of victory.
You don't go up against an Ernie Stautner all game without getting hurt. I mean, he was just too tough. I didn't consider him a dirty ball. He was not a dirty ball, but he was just tough. In fact, if I had to select between the two teams in terms of toughness, I would pick the Steelers at that time over the Bears in terms of toughness.
We finally got so we didn't give a damn for anybody, and we didn't have the material, but we knew that somebody was going to pay for all the punishment that we went through ourselves.
Revenge was the fire that fueled Stautner throughout his career. It earned him league-wide respect and All-Pro honors. But vengeance alone could not win a championship for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ernie Stautner.
Ernie Stautner was a great player. If there ever was a champion, Ernie Stautner was. He whipped everybody he went up against for about 15 years. But he never got a world championship ring until he became a coach. He deserved a championship ring.
Stautner's 1969 Hall of Fame induction honored not only his achievements, but also those NFL warriors like him who played with all their heart, yet never sipped champagne from a champion's cup.